All right. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Really good. Thank you so much for your time in
Of
meeting with
course,
me
of
today.
course.
So we were talking a little bit about your background. You have lots of scheduling experience, customer service.
Yes.
And then I started to tell you about a few jobs that I was hiring for. And
Okay.
you got so excited
Mhm.
when I told you about the last job.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what piqued your interest in the last position that I was telling you about?
What really piqued my interest was it's a lot of things I used to do. I worked for Wealthcare International. He was an attorney. He mostly did real estate. It's something I really enjoyed doing. I worked with him for over 10 years. It's just something about the rustle and bustle with being with them, things that need just your you're putting your care into somebody else's needs. And that's just what I love so much about it. And that's what really piqued my interest with that because I do have a lot of experience in that. And I would really think I would bring a lot to the team.
Okay. And you mentioned that your dad actually retired attorney and you worked in his office. So is
Yes,
that the
ma'am, I
office
did.
that you were telling me about?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay.
So he was an attorney for realty and he's done that his probably about 40 years.
Okay.
It's just, I've been in his office growing up. It's just where I found myself and he made me the woman I am today with being attached to being doing law work.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. And so of course, legal obviously is something you said that you have a passion for and it's something you're interested in. Tell me a little bit about, and we chatted about this too,
Right.
about when you did the scheduling. You were doing scheduling for Lowe's.
Yes, it was for actually Keller Interiors. We did all the scheduling for Lowe's. If you go in there and purchase flooring, you would go through us through installation. I ran 52 subcontractor crews. They all did all different types of work, tile, wood, carpet, laminate, things like that. And you just have to be particular and make sure your scheduling is correct. And that's another job that I absolutely put my all into. I was with them for I think about 4 years, and I love that as well. Um, yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, I told you a little bit about the job that I'm hiring for,
Okay.
and how important it is to have, to have good customer service, but also to have thick skin. Um,
Right.
as a consumer, I can imagine in that type of role when you're doing scheduling for homeowners and you're working with contractors, do you feel that that's a skill that you gained while you were working there?
Yes, it was. There was a lot of customers that are very particular, excuse me, particular and what they want. And it's their home, it's their comfort zone. It's something that they are dead on right about. And it's just dealing with those type of customers, you really need to set yourself back and put yourself in their shoes to make everything go smoothly.
Okay. And so what if someone was, not being maybe so nice or, so professional? How tell me about a time that you've had to maybe diffuse a situation.
Okay. There was a time where there was a customer, she had tile done. When you lay tile, it has to be completely flat, I'm, I'm sorry, flat. And when the tiles, sometimes installers don't understand some of the tiles stick up. And when you step on them, it does hurt the bottom of your feet. So the customer was very angry with Lowe's and with the installers at that time. I'm the one that has to defuse it because we're the ones installing it. So there were some rough patches trying to get their get them calm.
Hmm.
And there was just you have to push yourself through it. Make sure the customer feels comfortable. Make sure everything that is done their way. Because at the end of the day, the customer is right. And it's just you have to realize where they're coming from at times and just try to get everybody on the same page, which is hard. It is very hard to do that at times, but it's your job. And what comes first is making that customer happy. And that's what you need to do. And
Yeah.
that's what really got me to understand
Yeah.
different situations and different types of people.
So what I'm hearing you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you almost have to take the personal out of it. They're not upset with
Exactly.
you. They're upset with the
Yes,
situation, and once you're able to listen and hear them say that, what the issues are, then you can move on to the
right,
resolution, if you will.
right, exactly.
Okay, well, fair enough. And then of course, scheduling that many contractors. I mean, I feel like it goes without saying that you have to be super organized.
Yes, you do. Especially when you have those installers doing certain projects, you have to keep track of them. And because work orders do come back, I also handled the work orders with them as well. I had to go out and do home inspections with the installers, go out and do home inspection with Lowe's. So I really had to make files for each store. I ran 4 stores and all 52 subcontractors. So you have to be very particular on what you're doing, very neat, very organized. Make sure you're not confusing one customer with one installer, because at the end of the day, that customer is for that problem, that installer is for that customer. And that's just something that you really have to stay on point and make sure everything runs smoothly.
I'm sure. And then that was in the Orlando area, and then you were explaining to me that you recently relocated here to Volusia County, and you're living in Port Orange.
Yes. Yeah, no, actually, I'm in South
South
Daytona, like
Daytona.
right at the South Daytona and Port Orange line. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, Jen. Well, don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to chat
Okay.
about. I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you.